The dog is then put in the area where the track layer was known to have passed. He does not need an article of clothing or something that has been in contact with his quarry in order to start tracking. A well-trained tracker dog can follow a 24-hour-old track for as much as 2 days over many different types of terrain. As the scent of the track gets stronger, the dog will react, often by straining vigorously at his leash. This will alert the handler that the track is fresher and the enemy nearer. To make certain that the dogs are combat indoctrinated, they are familiarized with the sights and sounds of battle. The Tracker Training Project also uses human visual trackers in conjunction with the dogs. These men, trained like the Indian scouts of our pioneer days, can get a lot of information about the enemy from the condition of the trail and the growth around it. Even such minute data as how many were in the enemy party, how long ago they passed through the area, and which direction they took can be determined by the visual tracker. When the trail can no longer be followed by signs, he returns to the combat tracker team and the use of the tracker dog may be called for. The tracker team consists of 5 highly trained and skilled individuals. They are the visual tracker, the cover man responsible for the tracker's safety, the radio operator, and the team leader, all of whom are trained visual trackers. And of course, the handler and his dog, used here as the rear guard of the team. In this problem, enacted as part of the training program, a tracker team moves into the woods. They are in pursuit of an enemy party which has eluded capture by our main force. The visual tracker examines the signs on the ground. These signs indicate that the enemy has discovered he is being followed and has picked up speed. The visual tracker signals for the team leader and gives him the information. The team leader has decided to use the tracker dog to speed up pursuit of the enemy. The dog's training has prepared him for this moment of trial. His reactions now will be critical. In actual combat, the dog's early warning of danger could help save the lives of many soldiers. Will this dog be equal to the task? It is a strange pursuit. Man and animal absorbed in one objective. Find the hidden danger and eliminate it. The dog has alerted on the enemy party. The handler signals for the team leader. Now the leader must decide what type of support will be needed to handle the job. The team leader informs the support commander of the situation and requests the support forces nearby to encircle the area indicated by the dog's alert. Whether the team mission is direct contact with the enemy or merely gathering reconnaissance information, the dog accomplishes his assignment. Another important military use for the dog is sentry duty. Sentry dog training is provided at Army installations both in the United States and abroad. At Fort Gordon, orientation in sentry dog handling is given to members of military police units. Sentry dogs, used mainly to guard Army installations and storage areas, are trained for attack if the situation requires it. The sentry dog is never released to attack unless the intruder refuses to obey the command to halt. At the Army Sentry Dog Training School on Okinawa, a 6-week course emphasizes the training of replacement sentry dog and handler teams for duty in Vietnam. In all sentry dog programs, agitation training is stressed. For the dog who is under-aggressive or only moderately aggressive, line agitation training brings out the attack qualities of the animal. From training programs at the various U.S. Army installations, Army dogs are airlifted to their assignment. At this air base in Vietnam, they are transferred to trucks for the trip to a dog training detachment where they will receive additional conditioning. Refresher training is essential to accustom the animals to the actual conditions of climate and terrain in the region where they will be working. They will accompany troops in jungle environment, operate in marsh and swamp areas, ford or swim waterways. They must withstand the low temperatures encountered in the mountains and the intense heat at sea level. The dogs become easily accustomed to the varied means of transport required for troop movement. Waterborne operations pose few limitations for their use. The dog handlers receive special briefings on all subjects involved in the use of dogs in combat operations.
Your dog. I'm Sergeant Hardiman. I will be giving the class on safety measures of dog handlers. Safety measures of dog handlers is one of the most very important parts of being a good dog handler. In the event that two dogs get into a fight, a handler should never try to pull them apart. The handler should get to the rear of his dog and lift his hindquarters. The reason the handler should lift his dog's hindquarters is because a dog, when he bites, he sits on his hindquarters just to give him leverage. Once the leverage has been lifted, the dog's mouth automatically comes open. This is the easiest way to break two dogs from fighting. Another method for breaking two dogs from fighting is...
An important phase of refresher training in the combat region is a realistic field exercise in tracking the enemy.
Next man, Wilson. I want you to go out there about 200 meters where that big bush is. Place yourself there. Be sure you cover yourself well. Conceal yourself so the dog team will not see you. Next man, Shepard. I want you to follow the trail all the way out. Go back out to the outer part where we were yesterday and off to the right.
Alright, the wind's blowing from left to right. My dog and I will cover the left flank. You will keep your eyes on the right flank at all times. Any questions?
No, it's not.
Okay, change them over right there. Okay, as soon as you cross the stream, follow the path and start scouting your dog. All right, my dog has left flank. Check it out.
The dog becomes accustomed to the successful results of his efforts, and as always, he waits for his reward, approval by his handler. Then, a critique of the field problem.
Okay, Scott, you got a fine dog. He worked exceptionally on decoys. Had to spend a lot more time on him, calming him down. He's too noisy. And you know as well as I do that the scout dog team has to give an early silent warning. The dog's much too noisy to be a scout dog handler. Scout dog team. So you have to work on it, calm him down a lot more, and just work on it day in and day out. I'm sure you.
Enemy base camps and villages are often the objectives of U.S. Army search missions. The villages provide effective hiding places for the enemy. Many of the dogs are specially trained to discover hidden caches of food, weapons, and ammunition, or to seek out personnel hidden in tunnels in the area. Army dogs are also being trained for off-leash operations. Here, a transmitter with miniature components is attached to the dog's harness. While the dog is in motion, the transmitter sends out an intermittent signal to a receiver. The receiver is either carried by the handler or worn in his headgear. When the dog stops and alerts, the signal continues without the interruption. Adaptable to many situations, responsive to teaching, and with a high degree of problem-solving ability, the expertly trained Army dog has become a valuable ally to the American fighting man.
Those of us who work with the Army dog, in training and in combat, know just how much of a friend he can be. More and more of these animals are being trained in a widening range of Army tracking and scouting skills. One thing is for sure, while the Army is not going to the dogs are most certainly going to the Army.